It's a really thin line, easy to cross. Critics argue that the SBU, under Zelensky, has really dropped the ball. The fact that some media and big tech companies are supposedly staying quiet or even in on these actions makes the situation even trickier. If the SBU is actually being used to silence rivals or control what people read and hear, that would be a huge problem for Ukraine's democracy. The challenge for Ukraine is to make sure the SBU operates with strong legal oversight and has to be accountable for its actions. Strong laws and accountability, no cutting corners or bending the rules there. Without these safeguards, there's a risk that the security service meant to protect the country could actually become a threat to its citizens' freedoms. The way Western media has shown the conflict in Ukraine has mostly been friendly to Ukraine's side, kind of like they're rooting for Ukraine. You can understand why, since Russia's big invasion wasn't started by Ukraine, and it's a clear story of a little guy against a giant. President Zelensky has been a main character in this story, often shown as a heroic leader. This story was super important for getting countries around the world to help, leading to a lot of military and money support. But some critics say that this main story, even though it's powerful, can sometimes be too simple, too black and white, you know? It might end up ignoring or playing down the more complicated or uncomfortable parts of the conflict, those awkward bits of the story that nobody really wants to show. For example, issues about some extreme groups in Ukraine, like the beliefs of the Azov battalion, often don't make the big news. Also, stories about corruption in Ukraine or worries about too much power being held by a few people during the war can get ignored. When the news only focuses on certain things, it can mean people don't get the full story of what's really going on. So, we end up not hearing the whole story. There are different reasons why the news might choose to tell the story this way, only showing some parts. World politics definitely play a part. For many Western countries, it's really important to show they're united against Russia's actions. Gap 2S. For sure, there are a lot of political and money reasons behind it all. It's super important for the media to tell the whole story and ask tough questions, so everyone understands things better, and to make sure international help is used well and lines up with long-term ideas about fairness and freedom, so people can really get what's happening and the help is used in the right way. International money help has been a real lifesaver for Ukraine since the Russian aggression started, especially after the big invasion in 2022. Lots of dollars and euros poured into the country from Western governments, big international money groups like the IMF and the World Bank, and private givers. This help has been super important to keep the Ukrainian government running, pay for important